accountable for that. He was the worst. He brought him down because he was like, "Oh, I got it for you right here, man." It's not like Aaron was actively really trying. It was put in front of him. That's the worst part.
Yeah, I get that. And I mean, and that's there might be laws that can actually help to go after those people, and
Hmm.
there might not be, unfortunately, because free will and things like that. And that's why I do
Yeah,
say like the doctor and the dentist, because like honestly, it's not right. Um, they take a medical oath to not do things like
I
that.
know. And they're supposed to also be watching him too. And if you see the way that his behavior changed within like the last year when, our son unfortunately was taken out of the home, um, like that doctor wasn't like, how is he even able to do that? Like I just can't believe it. I even talked to his doctor and I said, this is not okay. And he just ignored me.
Is there steps we can take to report him to the
You
California
can do
State
whatever
Board?
you want. You guys can do whatever you want.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I mean, just wanted to kind of get
That would
you
be
to
actually
co-sign
my
on
justice
that.
because I think if there's more than and everyone if there's more than one person like trying to do something about it, maybe it will be known, for the next person to not allow this to happen, to get it to that point. And everyone allowed him to do things just because of who he was. That's the worst part. And I was looking at his Instagram and things like that and just kind of looking, and like it just seems like he is a celebrity, like he just cares about the celebrity life. Like he's posting like headshots and stuff on his page and things like that. And it's just that's not that's not what Aaron needed.
No, 100%.
He needed an actual psychiatrist to help with his mental health issues, not mask his mental health issues.
And Dr. Drew even said in California it would be nearly impossible, very hard for you to actually legally be able to get Aaron any kind of real help, which is really sad. And you do have attention on you right now, and if you be loud about this in the right way, there you could potentially help other people, and that would be a good legacy to leave for Aaron.
Mm, I agree on that.
We appreciate you talking, Melanie.
Yeah,
Um,
there's so much that you guys didn't really know. It's the worst part.
Melanie, may I ask you a question, please?
Sure.
So that is the same question I had for you, and that was in the comment section. Can you tell us, in your opinion, why you feel Betty is responsible?
Oh, because this is why. Okay, so the publicist gave me, and you know what? I'm just gonna say these names because that publicist knew Aaron and me, and she lived close by, and she got us a house sitter, and she knew how Aaron was, and she knows how addicts are, and she's a celebrity. She knows a lot about celebrities. She knows a lot of celebrities have mental health issues, addiction issues. She knows that already. She brought Betty into our house, and I was communicating with her and Betty. The first time I left the house a couple of times to go see Prince, and I said, hey, like, can you help Aaron around the house? Can you, he works a lot, and he doesn't have time to do all the things that I do if I would be in the house. And so Angel was like, oh, I'll bring, this woman into the house. She can help you guys. I trusted her, okay? And the lady was very into reading her Bible a lot, and I thought she was going to pay more attention to Aaron in the house because I told her, and also she did get paid, by the way. It wasn't something free. Aaron gave her like a $1,500 watch and said, we're going to pay you monthly and see how you do. So a lot of people were like, well, you just let her in the house and things like that. But anyways, that's not important. But what's important is that I was communicating with her and I said, hey, I don't want to come to the house right now because he's upset because I called a welfare check on him. And I just want to avoid any kind of tension during a social worker case that we had. And that's why I didn't come back to the house. I know Aaron would have probably let me in the house at some point after I called that welfare check on him. But I was just not interested in like media and like I didn't know camera. Like I was not into that. I did not want drama, and I trusted Betty and I said, hey, I'm not going to come to the house for a whole week. I need to give us a break and just like clear my head and let him clear his head. And I told Betty, I said, you need to look at all the trash cans in the house. And if he relapses again, because I didn't think he was relapsing, and he did the Monday on Halloween when I left to go trick or treating with my son and hang out with him. I asked her to basically like be an eye for me, and I said, can you please check all the trash cans? Can you please check his behavior? Like, please let me know if you notice something's off. I said, he seems fine right now. She didn't respond to me for like 2 days. And so then I kept on calling and I'm like, you know what? I need to just show up. But her friend messaged me and was like, oh, he's fine. He's eating. And that's what really makes me upset is that, like, I said, why isn't she texting me? And she said, I don't know. She's just calling me instead. And I said, okay. So then the friend said he was eating snacks and he obviously wasn't. And he wasn't okay because I thought he blocked my telephone number and that's why my message wasn't going through. But then I spoke to a couple other people and they said, yeah, his phone is off. So that's when I got really worried. And then, unfortunately I found out that he was passed away the day that I was supposed to come back. And the day that I was going to go back to our home, he was gone. So
So
I feel like I don't understand why they lied to me for so long. Like they said he was fine and that he wanted to be alone. And it's just shady right there. Like I understand it's not like I don't, and then also they wouldn't answer me questions. Like I said, there was people in and out of Aaron's house through his phone. And I said, there was numbers texting him that I don't know in his phone. I said, can you please answer these questions for me because they need to be held accountable and I need to send it to people. Okay. And they wouldn't answer my questions and she changed her phone number. And that's suspicious right there. So yes, that's why I'm upset because she won't tell me what happened that day.
Like, you feel like you can't get closure.
I don't have any closure. Like, if you have nothing to hide, then why are you ignoring me? And it's not like I was being rude to her. I just said, I really need information. Like, why can't you speak to me? And she just won't
It's
respond to
probably
me.
so simple. Honestly, it's probably so simple that he told her to leave me alone, and just she didn't feel like messaging back, and it's nothing.
Especially her knowing his history, and I showed her videos of him, and that's why I trusted the woman, because she was very respectful, and I thought she would actually care because she did read the Bible, and I thought she would care about people's like their souls and things. Like, I thought she was a good person, but to me, I think anybody else other than her would have helped, would have called me and been like, hey, like like you can hear them too, those cans. So if he was really using them, you would have been able to hear it. Why did she call me and say, Melanie, please come home? He's doing it.
So Melanie, so from what you have said, on Monday you were trick-or-treating, and then you texted Aaron, and you said you were supposed to go back home. So you were on Saturday when you found out that is the day you were supposed to go home anyway and see him?
I was going to, yeah, because I wanted to give him like a week. Like, I just wanted like a week, with my son and away from him, and just to cool it, because I called the welfare check on him on Monday.
What I didn't like about you calling Betty out on social media, so thank you for explaining your version, it's just because from what I know, I don't know, I'm assuming she doesn't have social media, so she can't respond to you, but wouldn't you think that the only person in regards to, okay, let me ask that way, don't you think that police would have investigated and asked her exactly everything what went on before releasing her?
Yeah, but she could have said anything. She was the only one in the house.
Yeah, but, and so here's the thing too, like, and I totally, everything you're feeling is completely valid always.
If she had
think
told
that
me
Betty probably was a drug addict
too. She was actually, just so you know, and that's why I have every right to be worried that something happened.
Absolutely, and that's valid.
But stuff about her, so I went to those links. Okay.
Yeah, but it's sad that that's that basically so many people are struggling with addiction, and I mean, yeah.
And she also lied. Her friend lied to me and also I found a rotisserie chicken in front of the house and food. Like, I don't understand. Like, it's all not adding up to me, and that's why I got worried the whole time, and I did say that, and a lot of people also agree with me too. They don't understand why there's lies involved.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Feel free to panic.
Feel, if you want to speak, you would need to unmute your mic.
Yeah, and Joker as well. And I
also,
understand.
another thing is that Thursday I was sleeping. Thursday night, which was the 3rd, I believe, I was sleeping. I was going to bed at like 9 o'clock because I was on my son's schedule, and I was sleeping. And the fans called a welfare check on him because he left his screen on, apparently, like the Instagram live screen at like 2 a.m. So that would have been the 4th, actually. So it would have been Friday morning at like 3 a.m. I don't understand why she just, like, even if Aaron said don't let them in, like, why didn't she call somebody and say, hey, like, they're trying to come in? Like, I just don't understand why she allowed him to be that way. Any other person would have been worried. It doesn't make sense to me. She just kind of like let him do whatever he wanted. If police were coming, she should have been on high alert and like contacted them.
Would you say it's fair to say that Aaron had that effect on people?
Had what effect? I'm sorry.
With charming, was able to get what he wanted, was very influential, carried a very magnetic energy.
I do, but also the fact that I told her these things, I said, if he tries to get away with stuff, you have to call me or you have to call somebody. I said, and it just upsets me. I just feel like, I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. And then there's nothing I can personally do.
She didn't let them in. She didn't let them in, and that's really messed up. Really, that's really bad. So she knew his behavior. If she did not know anything about him, I would not be so upset, but she knew. That's the problem I have.
Melanie, you said that Betty was cleared by the police. Is that correct?
Yes. I believe.
So they're not investigating her?
I don't know.
Melanie, can I just say something real quick? I just think you're so lovely, and I believe every word that you're saying. And I just want you to know that I am for you. I'm rooting for you. And just keep the negativity. Just don't even listen to it, because your feelings are valid, and I just love you so. And Aaron was a special little man.
Oh, that's really sweet.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I think no matter what people think about the Betty or the Lou and all those people, right? There's nothing that we as the community people online can do to help with any of that. But we can get behind you as far as pushing like actual legal avenues. And so if you want to use us as an outlet for that, or to help with anything like that, we're absolutely at your disposal. Totally support that. None of us ever wanted to see Aaron struggle, and absolutely always wish the best for all of you. At the end of the day, a lot of it was trying to hold a mirror to him to make him realize, hey, look, you got to get help. Like, we were scared for him as you were, and I can only imagine what it was like for you being in his real life.
Yep.
Cassandra, I think others are waiting for you to tell them who can go next to speak because they have hands up.
Oh, sorry. Feel free, or Joker, or Michelle, whoever. I'm so sorry.
So was Halloween night kind of the night he relapsed on Duster?
Yeah, just out of nowhere. Me and him were great. I mean, I was like sending him pictures of Prince, and we FaceTime, and I sent him like McDonald's or whatever. And then all of a sudden, I look at his location and I see that he's at Staples, and I freaked out, and I was 2 hours away, so I called the cops, and they showed up or whatever. And he was upset that I did that, and I was like crying and saying like, I can't believe this. Like, I thought we were okay, and he got really upset. He goes, I can't believe you did that, But then other times he was like ashamed of him doing something like that. And so I just don't understand what happened there, but it's really sad. He didn't.
Was he not allowed to be smoking weed because of CPS, and maybe that's why he was trying to get a quick high from the Duster? I know it's a weird question, but
no, it wasn't. I don't think so, because he was taking his drug tests. Kind of. He missed a lot of them, unfortunately.
Yeah, because I just do know that when a lot of people can't smoke weed because of probation, they end up doing way worse things, like spice or things like that.
I don't even know what that is, but.
Oh, Joker, go ahead.
I just wanted to say that I'm going to drop back a little bit because I was driving, but if anybody wants to know, I know after I get home from baseball, I do have the place you can make reports for the doctors. I know that I looked it up, and there's like an upload link, and so I can share that. I think I did earlier, but in case nobody has that, so there can actually be an investigation into the doctors. I've already started one on my end, maybe about 2 months ago. So when I get home and I get that information, I can share where I went. And then as far as the Melanie just saying that there were times when Aaron would feel like I don't remember the word to use, but like how he, like in his lucid moments, how he would be kind of like ashamed about the things that he would do. And I think it's good to remember that with addicts, it's in the lucid moments it is shameful, and that's always a little part that kind of kept me hope. And again, I know people have some issues about the account that I have here, but the intention of this account, I've always said, was to hold up a mirror to lucid Aaron, and because lucid Aaron was ashamed and appalled at his behavior, and so that's normal. And just one more thing is spice is synthetic weed, and a lot of people would use that so that they wouldn't get drug tested, they wouldn't get hit with the drug test, but it does far worse damage to your body. So I just wanted to add that really quick before I go back to driving safely.
Oh, I see. All right. Well,
Yeah.
don't worry. I'm working on some things right now but it's
Yeah, and also I would suggest just putting it out there that Dr. Drew could be a good source to push on that as well.
I spoke to him with a couple of Aaron's friends. I spoke to him about 6 months ago.
Yeah, and I know he was always saying basically I can't force Aaron to go to rehab, which is true. But right now he could be a good resource. And I think he would be more than willing to bring you. He does the spaces every night. He has a radio show. He has several podcasts, and I do have contact with him. And you do too. So yeah, I mean I think that could be a good resource. And I'll do what Joker said as well.
Okay.
Oh, go ahead, Michelle.
Mel, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
We saw all that went on with Aaron's lives. We know he was an addict. We know he didn't treat you very well sometimes. And it's a kind of a personal question because I lived through all of this myself. Are you getting help for yourself?
I speak to a therapist.
That's awesome.
Please don't stop because you went through a lot. We saw what you went through. We saw what Aaron did, said. And you have a baby that needs you. And
well,
I see. We all know how Aaron was raised. We all know how Aaron grew up. And we know Jane wasn't a good person. Please don't be
I don't
her.
want anything negative about
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
he loved his mom, so I don't want to be negative about anybody.
No, I get it, but just
I'll say it's inspiring to hear, because I've been through a really bad relationship. I'll put it at that, but it's inspiring to see other people.
But I think that a lot of the people, like a lot of our drama was because of those negative comments, and he would sit there and listen to them and be like, "Oh, Mel doesn't love you," and then he would get a little.
Well, people with mental illness, me being one of them, it's hard to keep out the negative out of your head. It's very hard.
Oh.
So you keep that in your head and you go with it. And on top of the addiction with whatever he was using, Duster, Xanax, whatever, it doesn't matter. He had mental health issues. So the negative that he was getting literally stayed in his head every single day from the time he woke up till he went to bed. And I can tell you that from my own personal experience with mental illness. I just want better for you. I want better for Prince. And the things that I see you post is not healthy for you. And I get it's your outlet and you want to be heard. And
yeah, but she has a right to be on the internet, and we're just going to switch gears.
But like Cassandra said, we're here to help. If you need backing, we'll back you. Drug 100%. Addiction and mental illness need more awareness.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. And then Grat OP, did you want to talk?
Yeah, I just wanted to tell Melanie that I really do. I really hope you focus on positive people that are, rooting for you. Twitter, it's not the best place for your mental health, and I hope you're not taking all these people to heart. And there are a lot of people rooting for you beyond Twitter. We just don't speak on it because we get attacked. But I just wanted to also say that your little boy is just so precious, and he's just so freaking cute. And I just want you to know that there are a lot of people that love you, and we do believe you, and that's all. I just want you to be happy, and that little boy is just so precious, and he looks just like Aaron Carter, God bless him. So that's all I want to say.
Oh.
Absolutely, he does, yeah.
Mel, just keep taking care of you and your baby. That's all.
Cassandra, you have 2 more people that came on and speak. I do not know if anyway, and Becky wanted to say something.
Oh, okay, go ahead. Anyway, I don't know if they know if they're on. I'm going to mute their mic, and then, if anybody else had anything productive to say.
I just wanted to say to Melanie, I'm surprised you came on. I'm very glad you came on, and thank you for providing your opinion and your feelings. That shows a lot of strength. So I just wanted to say thank you from my end because I wanted to hear from you, and I really appreciate you coming on.
Oh yeah, I've been dealing with a lot of emotions right now, and it's just I'm thinking of every little detail that happened, and it's just oh, I wish I did this and I wish I did that, and it's just hard. But I tried my hardest with him. So, and then when people say oh, I didn't love him, blah blah blah, or she wasn't doing anything, it really upsets me because there was a lot going on that you guys just didn't know.
Melanie, I believe that you loved him and he loved you because there's no way in heck that you would have stayed with someone who caused you, to be fair, a lot of stress. You obviously loved him.
Oh yeah.
You wanted the best for him. You wanted that happy family. I could see it. I could see it in your eyes.
But what upset, he was actually, he was a very down to earth, good kind of man too. You guys just didn't really see a lot of that because when he was not online, that was when he was normal, and you guys just didn't see that.
Oh no, we definitely did. It's not that all these people are just interested for the hate.
Online, but a lot of times, it was not him.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. But yeah, we do all see a lot of good and a lot of that magnetism, and for sure, he was very charming, and absolutely, I want you to not think that it's all hate out there for Aaron. That's definitely not the case. It was painful.
Yeah, he just had a lot of sadness and a lot of depression from a lot of things that happened in his life. It caught up on him, it's catching up on me, but I don't have an addiction problem, so it's hard, so anyways, I don't know if you guys have any other questions to clear up in the air.
Becky, you have your hand raised. Do you want to unmute yourself?
Yeah, I just had one question, and that is, I know that Melanie, you said that you were trying to get him into rehab.
Yes, I was.
Yeah. So what is he
trying to get him into inpatient? But I paid for his outpatient rehab 3 times. But when he went on tour, he was gonna do inpatient on tour somehow. He was gonna do Zoom classes, and I paid for it and everything. I found this inpatient one, but then Louis, and I don't care. I'm gonna say everything about him because he kicked me off the tour because he saw that I was getting involved, and he was I heard him talking. He's why do you want Melanie on the bus? And I was gonna leave anyways. I was only gonna be on the tour for maybe a week and then go back home. I wasn't gonna stay the full amount of time. And Louis tried to get me. He tried to pin a fight, between me and Aaron. And then he even was texting like that Morgan, his friend that was his new manager, and he texted him pretending to be Aaron and said, "Hey, I just want to let you know, unfortunately, I have to let you go, blah blah blah." And then I got out of the bus and I went to Walmart and I was cooling off from me and Aaron because I was upset that Louis was bringing his friend who was supplying him pills. And so I got upset and I said, "This is just like you're not supposed to be doing, like, you're supposed to be getting your son back. You're supposed to be doing the right thing, taking your classes." And then these guys that he picks up in Texas, his so-called friends, okay, they ruined everything. And then I know how Aaron text messages, and the way he talks. And I was in Walmart and then Louis texting, like, pretending to be Aaron, saying, "Unfortunately, we have to part ways. You can't come back on the bus, blah blah blah. Like, it's not working out." Like, speaking on behalf of Aaron. And then I just got upset, and it's just
Morgan's confirmed all of that too. That's 100% true.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And it's like, I don't know if like what was Louis' motive? Like, why did he need to do that? Like, was he trying to bring Aaron down, like to try to not let him get his son back and make him worse? Like, I just don't understand.
No, I think people are just selfish and they don't think about other people.
He's selfish, and I don't know if you've seen his demeanor, but like, he is not a nice person. Like,
I agree.
Like, he even commented on my son and made some video. He was like, "Oh, Melanie wasn't his fiance, really? Because you asked to borrow his car a week before everything happened." So, and I saw him at the No Jumper interview, and I was like rolling my eyes the whole time, texting my friends like, "Oh no, Louis back, and I have to see his face again." And he brought his stupid friends. Of course, they're at the No Jumper interview trying to get clout, right?
Melanie, was Louis the one who got him the lean? Who got him the lean?
His friend named Momo. His name, his street name or whatever they call it. I don't know his real name. Actually, I do, but I forgot what it was.
Melanie, who was Aaron with at Walmart the day before?
We don't know.
Oh,
yeah, we don't know.
And there's been speculation that you were providing Aaron lean.
I would love to say that that should not. I did not give that to him. For a fact, yeah.
Okay, no, I didn't think that was true, but I've seen it around the Twitter parks, and I just said, "There's no way."
Well, because there's a lot of live videos where there is bottles of codeine in the house when you were there and Aaron was there, and you had the long COVID, and people have always said that.
Oh, I never saw him take that. He goes, "I don't combine that because I take Xanax." I said, "Okay, good." And then my COVID went away, but I did have it for 3 months. So
yeah,
but he wasn't taking it though. That's the thing. The bottle wasn't even open because I wasn't even taking it. So that's proof right there. And then
sorry, keep going.
And then when I was in the No Jumper, I was like calling my girlfriends and I said, "Hey, like, I'm so upset that Louis is here because I hadn't seen Louis since the incident when Louis called the news and was like trying to make like a news article saying like Melanie's fighting with Aaron that time, which was like in September, I think." And so I was texting my friends in the bathroom while Aaron was doing his No Jumper podcast, and I was so upset, and I was on the phone, and then all of a sudden I came back, and then I saw his friend. I said, "What is that purple cup thing?" And then my friend's like, "That's lean or whatever." And I was sending her pictures, and like they were telling me that he's doing codeine, which Aaron never did before. So I don't understand,
Melanie.
And I'm sitting there and I'm like, he's doing this all on the podcast. I'm like, what made him want to do this? It's crazy.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Cassandra. You probably don't know his faces. You need to remove that snowfall person. That's a spam bot, and you need to remove them from the panel, and then you need to click delete what he's posting. You can't just let everybody on the panel come on. That's how Spaces works. Because he's a speaker, he can put all the spam stuff on top of the Spaces.
Melanie, can I just ask you one more question?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there was a rumor. I was listening to this podcast. I think it's called like Carter Twitter Pod or something like that. And they said that you went to his benefit show. Were you there?
No, I did not go. I was home. I was working out that night. I did watch it on the app though.
Then why were they saying that you were there?
I don't know why, because they did, but I was not there. No.
Yep, that's what we heard.
A couple of my friends that were friends with Aaron showed up. Like my friend and his mother showed up, but I wasn't there.
See, Melanie, this is what I don't understand. They're always saying things, and then people believe it, and they get all upset. And I'm just like, I don't believe it. I don't think she would have gone.
No, I didn't go.
Angeline, did you want to say something?
I just had a question. Yeah, it's Angelina.
I'm so stupid. I'm so sorry.
So as far as like not knowing who Aaron was with that night, the last night when they went to wherever to get Duster, I think I've heard that like your cameras were down.
2 of them were down, and I had an appointment to get it fixed on the following Monday, because we had a person that was coming to the house to fix it. Only 2 of them were working and 2 were down, so I couldn't see the garage and I couldn't see the front door.
Have you been able? I know you guys like weren't on the best terms with your neighbors, but
I was thinking about that. I was thinking about trying to communicate with them for that.
Yeah, I mean, if you can, I would suggest like whoever's ever across the street.
So that's what
I know.
They get their cameras subpoenaed by the police station, but the police isn't really helping me either, unfortunately. And I will make that comment because that's how I feel. So
Yeah, no, I agree.
I've driven to all these with the situation to get justice for him.
Yeah, but Melanie, I just feel like for your mental, like for your heart, you're not going to, I hope that you do find answers there. I do.
Okay.
But I think it's going to be easier to find answers in the people that were licensed by the state of California to keep his health and best interest at the forefront and failed to do so on several occasions.
Yeah.
And, that will help your heart.
They failed Tuesday, when he was in the RV, which was my RV. So I was responsible if anything happened to him. I purchased the RV by myself. It was not under Aaron's name. And so I called him and I said, he can't be driving like that. And then they just let him go because he's a celebrity.
Wait, so.
And I said, he can't be doing that.
Cass, you said she was dragged out of the benefit kicking and screaming. What happened to that?
No, I didn't say that. Somebody that alleges that I know Melanie sent that to Tiffany.
I listened to the podcast.
No, I wasn't there, you guys. Sorry, I wasn't there. I watched it from my app.
You listened to the podcast and you would know that Tiffany said that someone who alleges who knows Melanie sent her a video of that, and I didn't say that. And yes, that is what we put on the podcast.
Interesting.
Melanie, I got one more question for you. There was a lot of speculation that you, Aaron, and Chet were in some sort of rendezvous. Some sort of menage a trois.
All right, I don't know.
Oh my goodness gracious. All right, Becky Joe, or Joker, did you have something productive to say?
Go ahead, Joker. I'm sorry. I just wanted to address. I know I'm kind of backstepping sometimes to talk over anybody. So I just wanted to acknowledge Melanie that I know she had a question. I'd said something about the drugs, and the instance that I was referring to would have been the codeine. So if I was wrong on that, I was wrong on that. But that's what I was referring to. I know you had tweeted at me. I saw it this morning, but I didn't respond. But that's what that was the codeine situation.
Yeah, no, Aaron did not use that in the house at all, not once. The bottle was not even opened.
All right, I'll take you at your word for that. But I just
Yeah,
want to know,
that's why I'm so upset. Is I don't understand why I didn't even know that he would have an issue with that. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
Well,
I don't know if you ever saw like Louis' friend was like in a rap video, like in a car, like doing it in a car. I don't know if you guys ever seen his page.
which friend was that? I'm sorry.
His friend Momo, one of Louis' artists.
Absolutely
And
not.
yeah, if you look at his Instagram, he's like doing it in a car in a music video.
That's a fact.
And I'm just like, he's trying to show people that it's cool to do that. And I'm just sitting there and I'm like, how can Louis sit there and do magazines saying we did our best to try to help Aaron and then put that in front of his face when Aaron's an addict?
No, I do agree with that. I said the same thing about that whole Louis situation as well.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to clarify that specifically when I said that, you called me out on that. That's the situation I was talking about.
Yeah, no, Aaron did not get that from me, and I never ever gave him a prescription. I know one of his exes did, and she did like a live video about it, and basically threw herself by doing that. But he never asked me to get one for him. He never, you know what I mean? Like Aaron knows that I wasn't like that. Like I wasn't, like I'm not sitting there trying to do things behind the law and like help him in that situation. He chose to hang out with the bad people because he knew that they would do whatever he said. So, or they would offer it. Like Spencer, the worst of all. We haven't even talked about him.
Melanie, I have a question. This is not recorded. Would you be willing to go, if Cassandra is going to make a podcast episode, would you be willing to speak on a podcast episode if she sends you questions prior? Would you be willing to do that in future?
Possibly. I'll think about it.
Melanie, I don't think that's a good idea because she was the one who said that you were at the benefit show. I don't think that's a good idea.
For the third time, I'm going to go ahead and mute you now because I've repeated this for the third time. Yeah, we have an entire podcast that was about Aaron and everything that happened. And someone that claims that they know Melanie said that they had a video over there. And that's what Tiffany stated. Right. And I'm not arguing with you. And
There's another source I can't trust. For Pete's sake, I'd like to just be able to trust someone.
Okay, well, that's why we had Melanie come on to speak. So, God bless you.
God bless you, sugar.
Anyways, yeah.
Becky, go ahead. You had a question, I think. You have your hand up.
Yes, thank you. I wanted to know, what was CPS requiring Aaron to complete in order to regain custody of Prince?
He almost completed the parenting classes, which were highly expensive, and he was trying, and the parenting and the parenting classes he was taking, and also therapy and couples counseling, which we did for about 8 months. We were doing couples counseling.
Did they require him to go to rehab?
They did, but they said it could be inpatient or outpatient, but he really needed inpatient rehab because he needed to change his environment. That's what I took the steps of getting everything in our garage and then, living in an RV so we were away from the house. And I took him to a nice area, where I grew up and on the beach, and, he was doing well. We were being productive. He was taking his classes. He was seeing Prince, not in the Lancaster home, where it reminded me of all the bad people. And unfortunately, we almost sold our house, but it was too late. And I was working on getting him a new environment. So, but he was required inpatient or outpatient. Yeah.
Were there any requirements regarding the weapons in the home that they had to be removed?
No, there wasn't requirements, but I think that, the fact, because, I ordered a safe and everything, and he didn't have it, he still had them, but I think he sold some of them just because he said he didn't want that many. I don't know. But there wasn't like a requirement for that. It just needed a safe. That's it.
Were you scared about the way that he handled his weapons?
No, I wasn't. That's not.
You should have been. I'm an expert.
No, I don't.
And that was very, very dangerous. And I really...
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Well, he was very paranoid for his life, and that's what I did.
Yeah, and Rico, I know you had your hand raised for a long time. Do you want to go ahead and say something?
You guys can finish your thoughts. I'm chilling.
I just don't want to get into a gun debate, honestly.
Me too. I don't want to really speak on that because it's, I'm
no debate. I'm
also can sometimes be triggering for people that are victims of domestic violence and stuff like that. Well, maybe I'm just requesting a personal line for me if that's okay with everybody.
Just trying to do a PSA. That's all about the safety of weapons. That's all. It's everybody's choice, but it really scared me for you, Melanie, and for Prince. That's all.
So that's very valid.
Hey, Mel, how you doing today?
I'm okay.
So it's Rico Suave from Posted Media. I kind of have two questions for you. One's like about you and for you, and the other one's about Aaron. Which would you like to answer first?
Just do Aaron first.
Okay. So with the how do I word this? With the overall objective of what you, or I'll just say you by yourself, not even adding Jane, but what is your objective? Like, what is your end game for your like a further investigation, or
just to find out why who was in the home that night and cameras, things like that.
So his cameras weren't working.
No,
and
only the backyard.
Were they not working for like a while, or was that just
for a week?
Do you know why?
I don't know why.
Okay.
Well, actually, I do know why. Our card, Aaron lost his card, and then you have to request a new card. Mm-hmm. And I never updated the card, so they just canceled the service. And then we had an appointment to get it fixed. Okay. And then when we got it fixed, and he got what they have to do is they have to start a new, they just have to install like a new system, and then you do like a new email. I think they just because it got canceled. The cameras were still in the home, right, but the service got canceled. And then also we weren't even looking at it. And then once it got reinstated, only 2 cameras worked.
Okay, that is odd.
So yeah.
So okay. Do you, because you've kind of like, you haven't really came out and talked to media a lot, but the couple of things you have said, I'm a little confused as to, is it like a Mac Miller where you guys want, if there was any sort of laced drug or, something that shouldn't have been in what he got, would you like that person to be prosecuted, or do you think someone had ill will and like...
I know, I don't know. That would be needed to be addressed too.
So you just kind of want your answers like...
Yes, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that makes sense. Now, do you think that the answers you get, and I know these are multiple questions, I'm so sorry, but do you think the answers that you'll get will suffice you?
I mean, I think I'm always going to have unanswered questions like why,
Okay, that makes sense. That's agreeable. Now my last question for you is about you. Mm-hmm. What is your like plan for
I don't know, like, if you're focusing or if you're even thinking about your influencer career or like your brand or, social presence, or if this is kind of consuming you. Like, do you have a plan?
I think it's consuming me. I'm more interested in like finding justice for Aaron, but I was never really a social media person before I met Aaron. Like, I'm not. I was a little shy too, Aaron obviously.
Yes, that was very obvious.
But no, I don't want this to happen to someone else, because I'm going through a lot, and I really lost Aaron, and I really loved him, and he didn't deserve to die, and he had a lot to live for. He had a son, and he really wanted to be a dad. It's sad.
I'm so sorry for your loss. And just my last question for you: the weekend of his passing, I remember watching his TikTok live, and you were begging and basically pleading,
the
for
way
him.
he said it was completely different. I said it completely different.
Oh, no.
Oh, we know.
And I'm trying to say, like, because you were pleading for him to, like, think about me, think about Prince, you have a lot to live for.
Yes.
Do you feel like the justice is just for advocating for, like, addiction and mental health, or are you, like, blaming someone because you kind of already, knew that he was kind of going off the deep end?
I am not trying to always blame everybody, because obviously they weren't the only ones, but they put that in front of him in his, like, he was already acting out that week, and to add to it just for money, these people just wanted money. It's just crazy to me. Drug dealers need to be put in jail for life, because they're pretty much 1 in 500 people die from a drug dealer. So
I agree. I feel like maybe doctors should be first than drug dealers, because a lot of the drugs are prescription. But I appreciate you for answering my questions. I hope we get to talk soon. Thank you.
Yeah, and Kirby, did you have something to say really quick?
I do actually. I have quite a lot to say. So, let me get my bearings before I want to phrase this question properly.
Thank you for taking the time to calm down and think about it.
So my question is, okay, you, Melanie, were with Aaron for about 3 years off and on. Now, I myself, as I'm sure quite a few people might be in here, are survivors of some DV. And I know I personally DM'd you myself. You definitely read it. I definitely saw it. And I personally tried. And I'm sure you probably won't admit to it, but I am sure hundreds of other people DM'd you as well. That this was the road that we were going to walk.
And as a survivor of like serious, like actual real serious domestic violence, your tone is a little much. If you could just take it down a notch, I would love that.
I'm trying.
Because I want to hear what you have to say, because I love that we explore these things, and I think it's healthy for us to talk about addiction and abuse, and I think that's great. But it has to be a safe space for us to all be together.
Oh no, of course, that's why I'm actually you trust me, I'm holding back quite a bit right now, so I'm extraordinarily tame compared to what I normally be like. But with that being said, okay, and I'm almost sure that anybody else who DM'd you, in addition to myself, told you the exact same things I told you, which was I specifically said that one, this was that following this road was bad, that it was going to end badly. Two, that if you brought another person, you
don't speak about my son too, if you can.
We're going to change gears just a little bit.
You can't blame somebody for loving.
Melanie. And it's rough for me to do that. I do have 3 kids with someone that abused me for 10 years in an intimate partner relationship, and that kind of stuff is really complicated and intense. And I just don't think that this is the time or place to do that, especially when.
Okay, I appreciate that. Thanks.
Melanie, I just got one question. I'm sorry, I'm out of breath. I was just rounding the chickens in the chicken coop. But if you could do one thing differently, what would you do?
That week I would have, obviously I would have not relied on someone else, and I did, I didn't put the blame on her, but I did, I'm still upset because there's lies involved. That's the part and then there's also unanswered questions, and I went really emotional this week, and there's unanswered. I don't know what was going on.
You went through a traumatic experience.
Yeah.
To give you a little grace, and you're going to be going through it for years to come. I hate to say
I know that.
I wish you the absolute best, and I know you're going to be great, and I know you're going to regain your confidence and be the absolute best woman you can be. And Prince is going to grow up to be a great little boy.
He already is a great little boy. Feel free to panic. Did you want to add something?
Melanie, I just wanted to know if the police actually determined that this was an overdose and that, he passed away, unfortunately, due to huffing. Is that something you would be able to accept, or are you, always going to kind of be of the belief that someone did this to them?
Unfortunately, we're not going to probably know because we didn't have cameras in the house. And Betty won't speak. And so that's it just doesn't make sense to me. There's so many, it's the strangest thing that, his friend was on the phone with him 3 hours before everything, probably before the welfare check. And she said that he was fine and that she FaceTimed him. But, everybody went to bed when this all happened and nobody knew about the welfare check. And the fact that Zelda knows how to open doors and, that there's just little things that's why I was blaming Betty. And I was so upset is because Zelda whines when Aaron, like when something's up with Aaron, Zelda whines and she's very vocal. And so there's no doubt in my mind that Zelda would have opened that door and found someone to help Aaron.
Melanie, you know what I think happened?
And that's a fact.
I think Aaron said, "Hey, don't talk to Melanie. We're not together." You know how his thing. He always said that. And
but I told her that I said ignore that. I said he's gonna say don't talk to Melanie for 2 days, and then he's gonna say I love Melanie 2 days later. And I told her.
I totally get that. But I'm thinking Betty. She was like, "Well, I gotta listen."
But she knew that's the problem I have with her. She knew his behavior because she already witnessed it in the house, and I told her that he's gonna be up and down all the time.
I think that any death with drugs, can have a story like this surrounding it. I think that Aaron, I don't know Aaron as well as you did in real life, and I do think though that he would want his legacy to be that he protected people in the future from, happening. So too. Yeah. But
we don't know, who was in that house because nobody will talk to me.
Why do you think somebody was in the house?
Because there was phone numbers calling his number at 10:40 at night.
But from the house? Like
to the house. Right. Google app numbers.
But that's what I'm saying. So because people were calling him, you think that means somebody like went to the house?
Yes.
Rico, also on the police discharge, whatever it's called, they said that there were 2 unknown.
Are you serious?
That is an old article when they were talking about police coming for a welfare check, because there were plenty of welfare checks. That was not the most recent 3 a.m. one.
It's on the police scanner. I saw it. It was put up maybe a couple weeks ago. I'm not sure, but yeah.
I know, and when everything first happened, I seen that same thing as well. But I'm telling you, it's from a previous welfare check. It wasn't
No, it
the
wasn't
recent one.
that one. It was a different one. It was uploaded a couple weeks ago, so it's pretty new. And I just want to put that out there. There may have been people there. Who the heck knows?
I agree on that. Yeah, it's like there's just so many. Obviously, we don't know what happened because the cameras were down. I was watching him from, and there was nothing they could do. Nobody was going to come install or fix the cameras until Monday.
So, Mel, I give you a lot of grace because there's no proper way to grieve. And I do understand that this is beyond probably traumatic, but it's like something, you have to deal with for your life. So I do just want to tell you that I do, give you grace. Do you feel like maybe your grief could be clouding your judgment?
No, I mean, I don't know.
And it's okay. I don't want you to feel like, you're pressured to answer anything. And this is like a genuine question because you do seem like you're smarter than you let people think you are. And the way that you were pleading with him that weekend. And like you said that you felt like something was odd. You kept checking with Betty and you kept, calling places like you in your heart as a woman, that seventh sense.
Yeah, because Aaron told me if I ever relapse, you get me into rehab. And I said, I will. And he just wouldn't listen to me that time.
And I do feel like that is kind of what everybody dealing with him has had to deal with, in some sort of way. So I am sorry for your loss. And I do truly understand that, you're just grieving and trying to process everything. But I do want you to try to remember, you're smart. You have your intuitions.
And there's people we can go after, and you have a lot of people behind you, and you can make a lot of noise. And there are legitimately people like in doctors.
Yeah, like I don't understand like how Aaron how Staples it was Walmart that sold him. You can buy that much at a time. Like I know that my mom had one in her closet, and I had PTSD when I saw it the other day, and she only had one, and it's like they shouldn't be selling that many. Like
they sell them by the threes, which is really odd to me as well because I don't know why anybody would need that.
I mean, I called everywhere because my friend was like, you can call and tell them to not serve it to him, and then I'm like, so I called, but then Walmart still gave it to him.
Yeah,
and he's the second. There was another celebrity. They were a reality celebrity who died from huffing as well, and it would mean a lot. I feel like to Aaron, if any kind of, if there was just anything that could be done to help somebody in the future that was struggling with addiction, I know that would mean a lot the world to him. And you've got a lot of people and connections. I think that could really make something like that happen.
Hey, I just wanted to quickly say something. Hey Mel, it's Tiny. I just want to say, I really appreciate you actually coming on and speaking with everyone. It's sort of changed my own view, just hearing you speak so calmly and about the situation. And like everyone said, as well, if you need any people to back you or anything, a lot of people on this spaces have a very big voice, and we're definitely there for you if you need it. I think this has been a really productive conversation, and I really respect you for coming on and speaking.
Yeah.
Melanie, I think you're a strong woman, and you are gonna do big things.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. Well,
okay,
I have a question. So I know, Mel, you said that we kind of see that right now. You're focused a lot on who may have been involved, physically there and all of that stuff, which I understand your interest and concern in that. But my question would be, beyond that, once you get an answer, or unfortunately, you may not ever have that answer. Just something to consider. But with that, moving forward, do you intend to have?
Did you make this new Twitter account so that people can't make stories about it, or?
I don't know. I'm just going through it right now.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. So what's gonna happen with the house and the merch and stuff?
Well, the merch line was always my company. He gave it to me, so I'm gonna keep it around. Of course, I love selling the love merch, and I appreciate that he gave me that platform, so I didn't have to do OnlyFans and stuff. He let me be a better woman, and I appreciate Aaron for that. So he was.
Nobody cares if you do OnlyFans.
No, I'm a mother, and that should be my focus is Prince, and having I can work from home, and that's great. So.
And Melanie, I sent an email. I sent an email to you and your I don't know if it's your manager or publicist or whoever's in your bio. Just whenever you get the chance, even just to look it over and read it, you don't have to respond. But I did send you an email to your business email.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then what's gonna happen with the house and all the stuff?
Well, that's some information that you guys will find out later.
Okay. Yeah. I hope that a lot of the things that were near and dear to Aaron, I know his grandma's pin and the painting of his dad and stuff like that. I hope that's all in a safe place and you were able to get all that.
And Melanie, I must commend you because I'm sure having to deal with the house and moving was so shortly after, and people were giving you a lot of shit because you were doing that so quickly. But I'm sure Nick wouldn't have done it, and his mother seems a little sick, so I don't think she would have done it either. So I think they should be thanking you for.
Well, okay. And then we don't want to bash everybody. It's like
I agree. Thank you.
Yeah. I think we're all hopeful just to see Prince grow, and he's such a beautiful kid and so smart, and he's got half of the charisma that Aaron has.
I know.
Amazing.
Thank you. Well, I hope you guys understand a little bit more after today. I'll address all those questions about what you guys are saying because that can really hurt people when you're talking behind their backs and you're assuming things. So, Aaron, I feel like you guys could have been a little nicer to him, honestly. Not all of you guys, but some of you guys could have taken it different ways.
They wanted him to take advice from people that were being mean. I don't think that's how humans work.
I don't think so either.
Well, hold on now, because if we're being fully transparent, a lot of the energy that was given was what was being received. So I will say that there was plenty of trolls and just totally disrespectful, outlandish, terrible comments that Aaron should have never received. But I do think in between those, not all the time was it just lies and, trolling, trying to get under his skin. I do think that the truth hurts. So maybe, it didn't come off as nice, but I don't think that, everybody was just, so hateful. And even now, when Jane had posted the pictures, everybody, whether people didn't like Aaron or not, we all, felt for you and for Prince and, for the rest of the family for having to see that. So Miss, I don't know what her name was, but yeah, we're not, we weren't bashing him, but you're right. There were people who were bashing him and that was totally disgusting.
And he was also the ringleader of the circus and he played into it too. And he, it was part of his personality and it went too far for everybody. And that's a part of it too, that we can all, he could
it was a troll took it too far. Hey, Mel, real quick before you go, because I see you trying to slip out of here.
Check the star?
Yeah, I was just going to say, what are your current feelings or about Check or relationship with him?
Chuck was in Aaron's life on and off, and he did not supply Aaron with anything. So I was always really nice to him, and you guys do pick on him a lot too. And he has his own life. Like, I'm not going to really comment too much about him. So, but I have no.
All right, that's fair. Thank you.
Rico, you said that people don't pick on him, but I've seen your channel, and there's a lot of bad stuff about him.
And again, the
truth, the bullying needs to stop on everything. Like, it just needs to stop.
But again, this is what I'm going to say about that. Just like Melanie said earlier in a comment today, he was a content creator, and a part of that is getting donos and getting money. So to say it's scamming is a nuanced thing, and we have to think about that. And just as that is, you have to think about trolling and making fun of somebody on the internet who's putting their life out there in the public. So it goes both ways. Okay.
And I know he didn't make that much money on donos, right? You are aware.
Right.
But great op,
he could have monetized way smarter than he did.
Great op. I don't know why you confuse me as a troll when I'm a journalist. And like I said, not all truth is, good. Like, people don't always like the truth, but that doesn't mean it was a troll, nor a lie, or a bully. So
I
great
just
up.
felt that some of your videos, you're trying to humiliate him, and I just don't like that. A lot of
And again, you have your personal preference,
right?
And you're allowed.
I'm trying to attack him.
I just think you guys could have done it a different way, and it's I don't know. That's just my
I just want to add one thing, because I know, like, recently some people have been coming at me with the same thing, and Melanie, like, I will at some point, if you're open sidebar with you, it's nobody's business. But I will say, a lot of people, well, I have people on both ends. Some people understand what I did, and some people just don't get it. And I think the missing piece that people aren't understanding, when Melanie just said, I wish there was a different way you could go about it, and I'm sure this was well before Melanie came into the picture, but I did some real life things well before. This was not my first resort to try to help Aaron. I, like, in person, put up. And again, I'm not going to put it out here on spaces, but Melanie's curious about where I actually came from, what I did for Aaron prior to the internet stuff. I'll be welcome to talk to her about that privately. But that was this account was not my first attempt at helping Aaron. It was my final attempt. The only thing I knew how left to do is the only way I got a response out of, positive or negative, other than just being stolen from or lied to. And so, are there things that I said? I will say, are there things that I said that I maybe went too far? Sure. I can't give an example at the moment, but I can't say if there isn't, because I was angry, I was hurt. And a lot of that stuff, I haven't talked about what happened between him and I. But at the end of the day, I think I tried to voice like what my intention was. I'm not perfect. I kind of did what I thought would help. But this wasn't
just like Melanie did.
Right. It just wasn't like, I just want people to think that don't know me that, like, I just made a Twitter account and not like this was probably, I didn't start this Twitter account until let me think.
But you guys should probably spread more love to him.
Well, but what I'm trying to say is that he was. I'm only speaking for myself. Was that I did spread a lot of love for Aaron, and it got nowhere other than just and I'll talk to you privately about what actually happened between he and I, and because nobody's business. But I will tell you that there was a lot of love there, and the only and I think that you've known, you were with Aaron for 3 years. That Aaron's how do I say this correctly? He put a lot of stock into the internet. I thought it was silly, like, it's not something that I previously understood, but he cared too much, I think, about strangers' thought, and that kind of shelled his personality. It kind of molded him into what we saw the last few years, because he was trying to please strangers on the internet. But I just don't want to be.
So much better than that, just so you all know. Like,
I know that, Melanie. And so I just think that there's, like, some people just kind of miss this little puzzle piece between Aaron and I. And I put a lot out there, but there is some that I haven't. And like I said, I know I've tried reaching out to you previously as well, and I'm more than welcome to share with you what really happened privately. And maybe you can understand where I'm coming from a little bit better versus just looking at a page and making assumptions of the past 20 years of my life.
Yeah.
Hey Mel, if you're getting stalker calls and or emails or whatever, you should, like, when you go on your Instagram and you post about, like, say, Betty, or like you vent, I'll just say when you're venting on social media, you should really be blasting those people, because the same people who I guess you would say trolled Aaron or talked so much about Aaron would definitely talk shit about those people or to those people for coming at you in any sort of way.
Yeah, we don't want anybody harassing Prince.
I agree.
We are here for you. I know you have your own feelings about us or anybody that spoke about Aaron online, but like Cassandra said earlier, a lot of people are rooting for you and have always been rooting for you. It's just we don't really know how to get through to you.
Don't you guys see that when Aaron would? I feel like it was like planned. Where when Aaron would take me out of the house or whatever, and we would break up, he got worse every time.
Yeah. Because if you wanted to draw a boundary, and I said this last time,
boundaries.
If you wanted to draw boundaries, he would reject you and say, "No, get out of here," because he pushed you away, because he knew that you represented responsibility, taking care of friends, and being sober, and he could not. He was battling his addiction, and that's what I've always said.
There were times too where he actually told me that he wanted to be different, but then
Of course he did. We all saw potential in Aaron. That's why we're all watching. We all saw that potential that you saw too. We all wanted him to be a good.
I feel like some of you guys drove him into depression, like about the dogs and stuff. Like, I don't know, just some of the dogs didn't work out, and you guys were always like, "Oh, where's your dog?" Well, the German Shepherds would not get along with the smaller dogs, and I actually would rehome them because I didn't want any fighting between the dogs, and it didn't work out. I love them and I still got to see them, but they didn't work out with the German Shepherds. So there was little things that you guys I wouldn't talk about, but you guys would bully him and say "Oh, where's your dog? Where's your dog?" And he just liked having a lot of pets. There was no abuse or anything. Like, I don't understand why you guys had to say that kind of stuff. Well, it really hurt him.
He played it up to make it look like that, if I'm being honest.
I was gonna say when he puts everything on social media, you at that point can't dictate what people pick up on or continue to talk about. So I think for a lot of us, Mel, and this is just full transparency, we just wanted Aaron to be honest. Like the way you just said it right now, that could have stopped a whole lot because it makes more sense.
I should have said something. I didn't though. Aaron was like, "Don't give him that," and I'm like, "Okay, are you sure you want me to say anything?" And he was like, "No."
That was him playing into it. And
no, I mean,
which is fine. He's a content creator. Right, what I mean, and that's great. I no shame to it. But that's why we're telling you. That's why.
You guys cut out. Hello. Cut out.
What I wanted to say is my real account is the NUB account that is currently locked because of Stella Rose. So I'm on my check account. The reason I've made this account is just to post everything that check does. But despite that, my NUB account, I mean tweeted. I said a lot of mean things on purpose for a certain purpose. Now that you came on and said how that made you feel, or Aaron felt, I never thought about you even knowing any existence.
Well,
I would like to apologize.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I apologize. So what I wanted to thank you is thank you for coming on and speaking how it made you feel. I have done things for a certain reason. I've never DM'd you. I've never went into your social media to comment. I personally commented on what was put out there. So you coming on and saying this is how it made me feel or saying this is not right and stuff, I really appreciate that. So on some things that you now stated, I changed my opinion on. So I would like to thank you for that. I have specific reasons why I've done what I've done. If you're ever interested, happy to speak to you about that. So I don't need to take up spaces for that. But I've been one of the people that I've been super mean, and I've always stated that because I had a certain goal in my head. However,
I
at the same
think that
token,
the death threats and saying, we hope he dies, that's really bad because.
Oh no, I
Oh, that's horrible.
That was
that
nobody
anything
here,
like that.
Melanie.
Yeah.
No one in this
Are you
space.
sure?
Yeah.
Yes.
If you see an account, please call
You
us
let
out.
us know.
We're all pretty pretty into basically just like advocating for mental health awareness, addiction awareness, being there for each
Violence,
other as a
yeah.
community. Yeah, being a community of support for each other. So
Call these people out, Melanie. Real shit. Like, excuse my French. I don't know if you cuss or not, but you don't have to like I said, you have
need to call like the dog situation. Like I was taking care of all the dogs, and so was Aaron. It just upset me that we would get we had all these obstacles, and you guys would like call. It's not you guys. I'm saying a lot of the Twitter people would call and would call the venues and be like, oh, cancel Aaron. And I saw those screenshots and like we had to spend a lot of money. Well, Aaron wanted to do this. I did not want to. I told him that you are not going to be able to stop people from calling and doing this stuff, unfortunately. And he spent a lot of money on this like private investigator and all this stuff. And
so can you understand that and I don't know if this is true, but that the people calling to get it canceled might have been thinking, look, he's going to go out on the road and
but he had his son to support too. And like you guys don't understand, like it's like that was affecting his like an innocent child. Like
do you ever
like,
think he could have gotten like a normal job?
I don't think he could because of growing up how he was.
Yeah, I wonder that. I mean, but then being in the music industry, you're surrounded by drugs, and it's very hard to function as a recovering.
And that's why Aaron liked being with me because he said that I was a good, like I didn't do that, and he said that I was very innocent when I first met him, and he said, oh, you don't even drink, you barely do this, you barely do that, and he liked that about me. He was like, I've been with other women in the past, and they had addiction problems.
Aaron spoke a lot right before Prince was born about taking some time off, and this goes back to my point of we just wanted Aaron to kind of be honest. But why didn't he say people are canceling his shows, right? And he can't stop that. Why not put his focus maybe into the Love brand or your eyelashes or having other artists? Because I know he was kind of in dabbles with getting other artists. But why do you think that he was so hell bent on still trying to not be a performer, but I know he's going to be in the entertainment industry forever. That's what he knows. But why didn't he, or do you know why maybe he didn't try to focus on other streams of revenue rather than just allowing the callers to ruin his money?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Yeah, no, my bad. That was a long-winded question. But basically, when the people started calling and ruining and canceling his shows, why didn't he maybe try a different avenue to make money? Or
wouldn't that depress you too if you spend your whole life working in the music industry? And you see how talented he is. He was actually very, 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 very talented.
100%.
For him, you guys basically he had a great voice. He made these amazing beats, and then everyone was trying to get him canceled. And he had a baby, and all he wanted to do was show that he could take care of his family. So.
I just often wonder if he wasn't so much like Michael Jackson and agoraphobic and maybe some PTSD going on. If he would have been able to leave and get a regular job, if things would have been different. But people with regular jobs have addictions and die all the time too. That's why it's important to talk about these pill mills.
Yep.
And what are we gonna do about? Or is there any investigation into his dentist, the latest dentist?
I'm sure you guys will find out as soon as I'm sure it's all gonna come out in the wash. That's all I have to say.
I think you should try to do an interview with Dr. Drew talking about the dangers of stuff like that, and have he could bring in a doctor too to talk about it. It'd be interesting.
Well.
It would bring awareness, and I do think that Aaron would be really proud just to see that his legacy would be helping, even if it was just one person.
Yeah, I tried to get him to do that before, to speak on addiction before, but I don't know.
Well, you are carrying on his legacy now, and so you need to, be careful, proceed with caution,
Yep.
Because everybody was pretty disturbed, by the photos and what that could do to Prince, and that's not the legacy we want Aaron to have, and I know it's not the legacy you want Aaron to have either at all. You want him to be remembered as the beautiful, amazing, talented person he was.
Thank you. Yeah, I just don't understand why people didn't praise him when he was around, That just kind of upsets me.
No, if you ever listen to our podcast, we started almost everyone talking about how man, this is so sad because we see the potential. This guy was amazing, and look, he didn't even barely have a chance, and he survived so much and was so strong, and shit, we cannot watch this guy lose a battle to addiction and mental, whatever. It was very hard. So I hope that you don't feel that way about me and specifically or most of us here, because even though things, you've said a lot of things about people surrounding his death, and we've said a lot of things before he died. So I think that it's all out of kind of the same place, though.
Just remember, Mel, overall, protect your mental health, because you have to have your mental health for not only you, but for Prince. And at the end of the day, we just want you guys to be okay with, having to move forward. So yeah, I know this is a lot, but you can remove yourself. We don't have to be so detailed into your life type shit. So once this starts getting too much, or if it is getting too much, just protect your mental health, because you're the only person that really matters at the end of the day.
Okay, well, I hope you guys if you ever have a question, you don't just directly post it online and things. You guys assume things, especially with Aaron. You assumed everything. You didn't know what was actually going on. So,
and I agree with you, Melanie. I specifically have assumed what I have seen online. The reason I never asked you is because I personally would never go into someone's I don't go real life in a sense where I would comment or go. But I appreciate you saying that. And for me, 100%, I made assumptions based on what I have seen, and that's where I commented on. So I do apologize if that hurt your feeling. I just want to speak about me because I've definitely done that based on what I have seen. So it's definitely something for me to think about moving forward, how I will tweet in regards to
the real issues here were the people that were actually you guys called me an enabler, and I was just there to help him and help him through his help him get back to the Aaron that he was supposed to be. Okay, and I loved him and he loved me. I hope he loved me. I'll have to.
He did, Melanie. He did.
Okay, because sometimes you guys say that he used me for my credit. He did this. He did that, and it's very hurtful. And then also you guys say I'm a gold digger, so I don't understand which one is it. Like, did I have the money or was I a gold digger? Like, you guys just say it all the time. It's just,
I agree with you, Melanie. They say whatever fits the narrative. But Anubi, I must ask, are you going to keep tarnishing Melanie on Twitter, or are you going to cut it out?
I didn't see that as tarnishing, but I appreciate Melanie saying that. In regards to, I did call her an enabler, I did call her a gold digger, I did, and
you called her trans too. Don't forget the trans.
Oh, that was in the very beginning. Yes, I never deleted any of my tweets in that 34,000 on there. But Melanie, in regards to why I did those specific things, is I followed Aaron 5 months before you came into the picture, and I've not been a fan of Aaron's. I've not followed him before, so I didn't know what he did. The only reason I kind of started following is because he lied about something, and that bothered me. So
okay, what was it that bothered you? So I can clear it up.
Well, he was an online personality too.
So it's actually funny. So I saw that he was with Jenna Shea, for whatever reason it came on, and I was like, and I told my partner,
she just cared about clout. She didn't actually love Aaron. Like,
no, I wanted to tell you about that. So what actually triggered me to come on and follow what happened with Aaron was I saw him and her, and I told my partner, I said, oh look, Aaron, because I've known Aaron Carter since he was a child in Europe. So when I saw them, I told my, because I haven't noticed that Aaron was around in the last 10 years, I told my partner, oh look, Aaron is with Jenna Shea. Then 2 days later, they weren't together, and my partner told me, oh yeah, she's a paid escort, or it's just fake. And I was like, no, it's not fake. Aaron found a love, right, in my opinion. And then I kind of followed, and then I saw he was lying. I was like, oh my god, he didn't love her, right? Because I didn't know, I didn't follow nothing. And the lie really, for whatever reason, really triggered me because I am a poor liar. So I was like, why would he lie to his fans about being with Jenna Shea? And me personally, you're right. I don't know what goes behind the door. So I really appreciate you saying that. But then I saw what I found dog abuse, because I saw that other people who have followed for years have documented how many dogs he had. So I was like, oh, why
that's
does he
not
have...
dog abuse though. That's just him. You know, I've had a couple of dogs too, and I've rehomed them because it just didn't work out. And at the time, like, you know, sometimes I would be having a job, and sometimes my mom couldn't take care of the dog during the day. Certain things, like Aaron was a traveling musician, and sometimes it just didn't work out before me. You know what I mean? But during COVID and stuff, yeah, we had time for all the dogs.
No, that's a fair point. I always wanted to have a dog, but just due to my career and me traveling around the world, I couldn't. So that's a fair point. But what I found as dog abuse, there were pictures from people who have followed him for years where his animals had when you have cigarette butts or, you know, have some injuries.
Yeah,
then...
to that point, like how Melanie keeps bringing up like the people surrounding Aaron at his death. It's like, yeah, okay, Aaron's gone. Okay, but the dogs are rehomed. So where can we look? We can look at the Lancaster DCFS or whatever. So not DCF, sorry guys. The animal control there, and you know why, you know, their township doesn't have restrictions on drinking water and things like that. I think that no one is such a great resource for any kind of animal rights activism.
I'm sorry, I don't pay attention to the YouTube harassing and putting him into such pain. So
to answer
like, it's good sometimes to look at bigger picture, what we can do to actually like implement things that would help people and animals in the future. And I think that Melanie, you know, does have a platform to do that, and that it would be just such a good thing.
Hey guys, can I jump in here? Hi guys, good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, how you gonna be? Hi Joker. Hi Cassandra. I'm not gonna get into pissing off with anybody this morning because I'm not in the mood. But what I want to know is, Melanie, how come you guys didn't pay Miss Bernadine for the funeral money for Ao's funeral? How come you guys scammed money off of his name?
I wasn't even aware of that. I don't know what I've been told about that. I don't know.
Rico, can you shed some light or let me know if we need to?
Or did know that? Oh wow.
Yeah, I posted it. I'm Ao's mod. I know. I spoke with his mom directly for several years. Aaron never gave her anything.
Did Melanie drop or did she just leave?
She left.
Come on, guys. Come on. D, why did you leave?
D asked a valid question.
I wasn't being rude, and I just said I don't want to get in an argument with anybody.
No,
I think
to be devil's advocate, because Dee might not know that Melanie did try to, and I'm not here to protect Melanie, but remember, Rico, she did try to get off like 30 minutes or 45 minutes ago, so that could have been as well.
Right.
That kind of was the camel that broke its back.
Yeah, and it's okay. I mean, there wasn't really anything else that was at a certain point. If you're gonna ask people questions that they're not gonna answer, you know, they don't want to take accountability or talk about something they're not going to.
I mean, he's a busy mom too. To be fair,
it was a long conversation.
I think it's messed up because somebody did the same thing to Aaron with this memorial concert, and she can't talk to me. She knows who I am. Like, she can't talk to me and be like, you know, I'm sorry, or she was there. I know she knows what happened.
Well, to be fair, Deesh, you are entitled to her. Okay.
I'm doing it for Catalyst News' mom, not for anybody else.
Great. Who are you?
I'm just a girl from Southern Belle.
You're a girl from a Southern Belle. So usually Southern Belles are girls, but I'll take that.
It's 100% either Mike, K-Steady, or Crystal Ann.
Oh, I thought it was the alien.
Or Lila.
Great.
All right, Melanie's back. Okay, Mel, don't worry. I'm not going to let anybody, they better put some respect on your name. I'm just like, guys.
Yeah, Mel, I remember you were trying to leave it. We're trying to leave earlier, so I don't know if you had to, like, you know, get off or whatever.
Melanie, you're awesome, and that's all you got to know.
No, I mean, I think there's always room for further education.
Well, Cassandra, I think you get an award. What is it? An Emmy? Is that for TV shit? Do podcasts get Emmy?
I don't know.
we're giving you an award today.
I think we get a little hate mail is what we got.
You know, it's okay. Yeah, too much hate mail. Honestly, though, I commend you. A lot of people are going to talk shit about it, but I'm excited to see all of the think pieces and 3-hour streams of people breaking this down.
Yeah.
No, I think it was great. I think it was really strong of her side to come on and just realize, of course, everybody has other questions or different tones in the voice. But for me specifically, and she had a great valid point, like, why didn't you ask me? Like, I never even thought about it because who am I to go and ask someone? I see something and I make a comment on it, right? So I think it was great because now I can think about it and I say, oh, but then she has a great point. So for me, it was because I've been on that one train, and for things she has explained her way, in her opinion, I really appreciate that. And you know, she did say, like, oh, if you have a question, comment to me. But I don't like to DM. I don't like to comment on someone. So if in future she feels safe as a safe space, and there would be a rumor around or controversy going on, I would really love for her to jump on and say, hey, you guys, this is not it. This is my version. So I think it was great.
We started this space at the morning really early just to be a safe space to like chill and decompress this morning. So
and just discuss if the other account was her. So now it was her. So it was actually really great. I didn't think she would come on, but she has proven me wrong, and some of the things she said make sense. So I think she was honest.
I just got to say that I really commend you for apologizing to Melanie, because I know you were one of her biggest critics with a big platform, and I just got to say that I'm really, really happy that you apologized to her. That probably meant a lot to her, and I really hope that you kind of give her a little more grace in the future. And Rico, I forgot what I was going to say, but yeah.
No, I
That's fine.
appreciate that. Great. And I didn't even think I had a good big platform because that is, I think that the reason I got now a little bit more followers is because of that Brian Kohlberger case. So it wasn't even anything Aaron or Mel related. But of course, I'm a mean girl. I'm a biatch on Twitter because I choose to be. I choose to do mean tweets. However, Mel explaining for her how, and she didn't call me out personally, but I felt I needed to respond because I've been mean. I didn't even know she knew that I existed because her account she has, that is actually one that I blocked because I thought it was a fake one. So I do not even have her on there. But of course, I'm in real life, I'm an empathetic person.
Well, of course,
I really,
if you're on the internet, you're going to get insulted. That's,
and, but of course, she explained it hurt her feelings. Of course, I'm going to apologize. I'm not
that's really
bitch,
nice of you.
And Cassandra, I just got one question for you. Are you going to be
Lord
clearing
have
up,
mercy.
the lies that you said on your podcast? Or not?
No, if you listen to my podcast at the beginning, it says this is all alleged for entertainment purposes only.
Okay.
And so, and also, like, I just want to say a disclaimer. I said a lot of things during this live. Some of them, I meant. Some of them I was learning through. I do have half crystal land brain. I try my best, guys. I really do. I'm not saying I'm the smartest person ever, and I'm always open to learning and taking criticism. And I always do apologize. And also, if my co-host Tiffany was here, she would say to double down and tell you all to go fuck yourself, haters.
But she was wrong, so that wouldn't make sense.
Well, I mean, I guess
Cassandra
she's not
have
here to fight with you right now. That could get ugly.
But see, this is what
Right.
Greg, I understand where you're coming from, but I listened to that podcast, and actually, I think
Thank
Rico
you.
actually did ask the question when we had a different spaces to say, because there were some things that I didn't know she went to the concert, and Rico said, well, if she would have gone, wouldn't we have known about it? But then I spoke with Rico about it on a recorded spaces, and I said, you know what? I always give the benefit of the doubt. I wasn't there, Cassandra wasn't there, and Cassandra wasn't the one who said that.
Maybe Tiffany was wrong. I mean, maybe we should.
Exactly, it's a source, so she was
what
told
should we
that.
do? Maybe we should take her podcasting license away. I don't know, man.
Take
we
it away.
don't get
All
paid to
your
do this, right? Like we literally just do this, and it's a lot of work, and we're trying to hold Aaron accountable and talk about interesting pop culture things and 90s nostalgia. So you can leave it or take it. It's whatever.
And it's not
I
even
apologize
bad.
if I offended you or anybody, and I don't claim to be Brian